Using stencils is a secret weapon that can take your designs from basic to breathtaking in no time at all. Welcome to the Chic Show. Today's playlist is hosted by Funky Junk Inspiration and The Painted Peach. Their channels in the playlist are in the description box below. So for this project, I'm going to be using this old hymnal. I have a lot of hymnals that I've collected. This one I bought specifically so that I could cut it up because I have a hard time doing that actually. But I think this will definitely be worth it. So I'm going to choose one song out of this hymnal, and we're going to choose "Oh Worship the King." The stencil I'm going to use is from Chalk Couture, and I'm going to decide between one of these two crowns to put on this music, and I think I'm going to choose this one. Now I do have some of Chalk Couture's chalk paste, but I have used regular chalk paint as well. So clearly that did not work, probably because the paper is older, plus it is paper. The stencil, I did fuzz on my mat here. You are supposed to fuzz that so that it doesn't stick to that. But what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to give it a coat of Mod Podge so that when I do stamp on it, it shouldn't pull the paper. So for this next part, I'm going to be using one of these black canvases from Dollar Tree and some of these antique gold clips that I ordered from Amazon. I'm going to use the piece of music that I messed up and use that as a guide as to where I want my clips exactly. And then I'm going to use some hot glue and glue these on. Okay, so we're going to try this again with this song, which actually might be a little more fitting than the other one. This time it turned out perfectly. Now I'll add it to my clips, and then we're going to add a little bit of rub and buff. I used some antique gold rub and buff to match the clips, and I just rubbed along the edges of the canvas. For this one, I'm going to use this white bag and this Chalk Couture stencil. So we'll make a little valentine bag. Now I'm not using chalk paste this time. I'm using Waverly's chalk paint in crimson. You can use just a little plastic credit card or something like that for this, but this is a Chalk Couture tool that I'm using, and I'm just using a light coat of that crimson paint and then very gently brushing it all over the top of the stencil. These are mesh stencils, so they're a little bit different than a regular stencil. And once the paint dries, you are good to go. So for this project, I'm going to be using one of these signs. I believe it's from Dollar Tree. And I have already sanded off all of the glitter on the front, and I'm just going to give this a coat of white chalk paint. Now that this has 2 coats of paint, I'm going to be using this stencil. It is from Hobby Lobby. I got it on clearance at like 90% off. So there are 2 sheets here. I'm going to be using this one with the smaller detail. I'm going to use some painter's tape to keep my stencil in place. And I'm not using paint for this, I'm actually using modeling paste. So I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to smear the modeling paste all over the stencil so that when we pull it back, we'll have this raised texture. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to paint over the top again with Waverly chalk paint and Snow White. I'm going to add to the center one of these wood chalkboard tags from Dollar Tree, but I want to cover up that hole, so I just made a little bow for the top. It's not really going to show anyway. And then I'm using 2 of these paper flowers that I think I got from Hobby Lobby in the wedding section, and I've glued those to the little chalkboard tag as well. I'm going to hot glue that to the center of my canvas, and then I'm going to use this little stamp down here that says beautiful. I think I got this in a pack from Tuesday morning when they were open. I hope you've enjoyed these stencil projects today. I would love to know which one is your favorite. And don't forget to check out the playlist in the description box below, along with our host channels. If you're looking for more inspiration, I've left you this video right here that you might like. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.